can throw it up, dude.
All right. We are back with another Dude Actually podcast. We have this week the one, the only sax symbol himself, Randal Turner.
Hello.
As always, our sponsor, THC Dispensary, sponsors this cast, this episode, and every episode prior, and every episode moving forward until we get grounded or fired or however sponsorships work. We have no idea.
True.
Shout out to them. Go and check them out. They got a lot of deals coming up this spring. 420's right around the corner, and they're going to do some awesome stuff next month for 420. And we will be announcing that on the cast when we get more details.
Yeah, we'll have some deals going on.
And that's the business part of the cast. So the rest of the time, man, this Randal is a local artist. Actually, a few different kinds of art. We got, I mean, this is Randal's art here.
It's called Shadow Dreams.
This one is, right? It's called
They're
Shadow
both,
that's your
Shadow
series.
Like the
Dreams.
series.
Shadow Dream series.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Lot Lizard.
Yeah. This one, so, and Randal also plays saxophone. And if you ever want to catch him when he's not busking or not doing shows, he's at Emmett's for Quick Draw Comedy, which you guys have heard before on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Quick Draw.
Every Tuesday and Sunday. And I have the pleasure of playing drums with this guy, and it's awesome.
You guys are awesome.
We got a thing where it's like, all right, man, well, you just start and I'll follow, you know? I mean, he's got the ear for it, man. And I've known you since 906 days.
Right.
And I mean, I doubt
I never
anybody...
met you, though.
No, never met. Well, because, you know, when 906 was up, I was like 21, and everybody there was like 40, 60.
We party, man.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I went in one time. They got this guy wheeled in a cooler, you know, and it's Jello shots. He opens it up. It's all Jello shots. I'm like, oh, nice, man. Like, what is it? Tequila, rum? And he goes, mushrooms. And I was
That's
like,
wild.
what?
Wait a minute. It's crazy because that gentleman you're talking about, I forget his name, but he had this gummy bear. And it was so big, I never had felt one that soft and he just said, just to eat it, stuffed it in my mouth, and my lips were red, my fingers, everything.
Didn't he go by Doc?
Hmm?
Didn't he go by Doc or something?
I
That
know.
wasn't his name, but I think he went by Doc.
I mean, there was a lot of people.
There was.
Doc, I made a picture of him out of glass.
Oh, no shit.
Man, I think that's who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He wore glasses. He always had on like a pride bandana or something.
Yeah.
And he always had a joint in his mouth, a cigarette. I made it out of a rim of a car and put the glasses, looked like him with the glasses and everything.
Yeah.
He bought it.
That's awesome.
Because, I mean, man, there was a time where I told him, man, you know, and I was trying to be polite because he wanted like $15 for something.
They do.
And I was like, oh, man, I only got $5 and I got to get home. He goes, all right, $5. So I was like,
Nice.
shit, well, I can't say no now. I already told you I got $5.
That's good haggle.
He's like, from 15 to 5, he gave me an edible that when it kicked in, man, I was drinking that night. And when
I
it
didn't
kicked
know
in-
how it was going to affect me, so I only ate half of it and threw the rest away because I was really red, my lips.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was good, man. I said, man, I don't care if I have to pay $50 for one of them. Give me one.
Yeah.
Got another one. It was good.
Yeah, dude, 906 days were awesome. Now it's like a Puerto Rican food place.
I've been there. Did we? Yeah, we
went there
did. And you
together.
had Mofongo.
Yep. Yeah, it's the same exact place. So there's that fence on the outside. Mm-hmm. And if you walk by, there's this great big metal sculpture of a giraffe, all from recycled metals. A local artist
Did
did.
they keep it?
No, it's not there anymore.
Wow.
You know, they tore down that fence. There's a fence, a lot, and then the building. Building's still there, obviously, and the lot was turned into an actual parking lot. Because before, I mean, you have like a gutted out old like box Chevy truck that you
Rubber
go in
cars.
and you know it's like submarine themed on the inside. They just like weird shit out
It
there.
was about the same then.
Yeah, and you go in, man, and there wasn't a square inch of freed up wall space most of the time. You know, like there was, I mean, picture. You know, I mean, it was an awesome spot, and it was an art gallery, but it was also a venue that they didn't have a liquor license. They had a BYOB, so they had to have a bouncer, check an ID and whatever.
Right.
But I mean,
It
people
was
just,
after hours. Everybody.
yeah, people just walk in with a bottle, a joint lit, you know, walk around. There was always like live music. I think I saw you play there a few times.
Every party they had, I was fortunate to play on top of the car
Yeah.
Or even after everything was over, I would be the last person up on stage in there.
Yeah.
And I'd
That's
play for
awesome.
like 3 hours
Yeah.
straight until like 5:30 in the morning. If I start at 3 in the morning, I'm done about 5:30.
There's this one part in
It's fun.
That's
the building.
awesome.
They had like a cutout about this size. And this guy, he brings like 15 different crystal singing bowls. You know, they're made out of. No, they weren't crystal. They were quartz. They were pink quartz crystal. And man, like you go in and you just heard like you felt this vibration in the air, and you go over and this dude's like playing these like harmonic singing bowls together and stuff. And you're just like, what?
And see, I don't
It's
judge
just a
people.
wild
People
place.
said that they were witches, that Christine was a witch. I love Christine. But each piece of my art that I took there, she would sit there with her eyes shut, you know, just feeling to see the energy from it.
Yeah, that's a witch. But hey,
But I love her,
that's
though.
cool though. No, that's
No.
awesome.
Well, hey man,
we went
you know,
there once.
We like
Y'all missed
together.
out.
the word witch is it has like a negative connotation. I think I know a lot of girls that identify as witches or Wiccan or having like
I'm not into Wiccan.
Wiccan descent or witch like they, but I don't know anybody that's making voodoo dolls,
Right,
and like,
right.
you know, like
Yeah,
doing
not
like
like
blood
that.
magic and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's
not like
people,
that.
people think witch. They're like, what the fuck? You
It
know?
was all for
It's
the
more of a-
higher, better.
It's more of almost like an herbal practice and an energetic practice than it is some negative, crazy, weird thing. That
I
you
sold
should
like
be.
18 pieces of my art out of there.
Yeah,
I made-
Wow,
and I got $400 a piece, you know.
yeah.
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and one of them was a possum blowing a saxophone. I was,
Wait, was that a picture, or was that like a sculpture? Because I've never
it was
seen.
just you've never seen it. I got
Well, I've never
pictures
seen.
of it.
You don't do like
Like
canvas,
visual-
like pen and paper
2D art.
right?
No,
you
I
do
just-
all sculptures.
I
and
throw
stuff.
the glass in the air, and however the shapes come out is how I make that.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
It's retarded, isn't it?
Hey, I think, dude, that's the way.
it's a sickness. You know, it's a method to my madness.
Dude.
Yeah. Some
Only
people aren't sick enough then, you know.
Yeah, because this is sick as fuck.
Yeah.
That's-
So,
Well, this is too big to be a dildo, so I had
So
to put it on the neck of the
I was
tail.
wondering
it might be a little bit too sharp at
It's
the
too
end
sharp.
too.
That's
Yeah.
hey,
retarded.
depends on the person. They,
I
they
come
like
over
it.
into it.
So this actually has a really funny story. I've seen this one before at Emmett's, and Randall just showed me this today. And the backstory, he calls this the lot lizard. So when me and Addie met Randall recently at a bar in town, Down Under, and he asked him maybe, hey, come by for one of our comedy shows and play. And it stuck. You know, the show is not the same without the saxophone. And essentially it's a little 3-4 song kind of thing right before the show. We'll play 1 or 2 after the show, but it's mostly intros and outros when comedians are walking on and off. And, you know, I thought, man, this guy's so good. I'd love to play drums with him and just have more of a musical element and start to create a band around this. So we got a comedy band. And, you know, they always, as comedians, they'll introduce us in funny, quippy ways. I mean, Randall's been called the Sultan of Sax. I've been called I don't even remember.
Oh,
Addie's called me some interesting
so
names.
many things.
But one day he called us as a band, you know, the Leavenworth, because that's where Emmett's is off. It's off Leavenworth Street. He called us the Leavenworth Lot Lizards. And it just stuck. I mean, every single show that we do every Tuesday and Sunday, they always say, and like, let's hear it again for the Leavenworth Lot Lizards, you know. Randall on the sax, Reese on the drums, you know. And so this is the Lot Lizard.
That's a lot lizard.
Yeah, and that was
so
great,
perfect.
man. When he said that, I just saw this for the first time an hour ago.
Me
and
too.
I was not ready for it, you know.
I mean, that's like,
It's
what a
incredible.
perfect name. Like,
Yeah, it was incredible.
I like the lot lizard.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, that is great. You know what a lot lizard is, right?
It's a hoe, ain't it?
Well, yeah, for truckers.
Yeah.
For truckers.
Right,
You know,
'cause
yeah, the trucker comes on the lot, has got to refuel and maybe sleep for the night, and then they get some company.
Yeah.
oh,
It's
That's
the first
retarded.
the first time he said it, like we're lot lizards.
Wait a
I'm like,
minute.
that's
I just
crazy.
found out last week that's an insult for him to call us lot lizards.
Yeah. Oh, dude. The
What?
first time he said it, I was like, "That's crazy." And you were wearing like your long coat. You were smelling all nice, wearing a bunch of jewelry. I was like, "God damn, did my boy dirty?"
Yeah, I make pieces like this too. This is for my saxophone. This is real Tiffany glass. It came from my mother-in-law. So I didn't tell her I broke it.
On purpose?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I used the pieces to build. I use glue. I don't know how to solder or nothing.
I actually have
Looks sick.
I actually have a
It looks really
soldering
good.
iron, and I also just got is a Dremel set. So and it might not do good for you, but
I
it's
got
a
all
little
the
hand
Dremel bits. I got have.
So you have like a sander, mini sander.
I
like,
got all
right?
that stuff, but
Okay.
my Dremel, I don't know
Yeah.
how to.
Because I think they called it a man. I don't remember what but it's got a couple sponges, a couple like sandpaper, like
They got
this,
sandpaper
and-
thing.
Okay, so you got one.
I got Dremel, diamond Dremel bits.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, man.
sizes.
We could do the soldering iron's only probably $40, and it's pretty easy. It ain't like welding, It's more like if you're putting down like like a caulk gun.
Right.
It comes out and then it'll just harden up. Same kind of principle. Like if you wanted to lay a stone, you kind of do almost like a glue line, and you put it out long or like enough to where the edge of your glass would kind of go into it, and then when it hardens, it kind of holds it, But it's real easy. I mean,
Well,
it ain't like
all of my
welding.
pieces start with chicken wire.
Yeah. Okay.
Underneath here, so I'm adding it to that. See the wire?
Oh
Kinda see
yeah,
it under there.
that's cool. I like that it's see through because you can see that core. That's cool.
retarded.
I'm sorry.
No, not you. I mean, it's retarded that I would think of something like this, and
Dude,
start
that's
doing it.
brilliant, dude.
I
mean, that's
three
something
others.
that people need to. You're doing the thing that is something that people. A lot of people might want to do it, but more than likely they won't. And you're not only doing it, but this is sick. That's
And
sick.
Shattered
That's sick.
Dreams is all the broken glass and shit like that. You can make it into something. It might have been beautiful once, but it's beautiful again when you recreate something.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do.
That's a sick concept.
And I don't want to make garbage. You can throw a bunch of shit together.
Yeah.
But you want to have somebody like it, like you guys look at this and say, man,
There's
I want them to make the wow factor to my art.
Yeah.
There's
definitely.
a practice in China, and I forget what it's called, and it's a Chinese word. But when back in more ancient days, when something valuable like vases or something would break, they'd put it back together and they'd cast it. All the broken pieces they'd put back together, and they'd cast it in gold because it was the softest metal that they could kind of
Put it back together.
Yeah, and
That's amazing.
in that way, it actually made a broken piece more valuable. In that it had extra craftsmanship going into it. It had gold, a very valuable
Yeah.
metal going into it, and so it was always really cool because the Chinese believe that like something being broken doesn't devalue it. Like if it can be broken, it can be mended, and if it can be mended, it can
Don't
be
tell me
broken.
I'm mixed with Chinese now because I do this.
Yeah.
Because I know my grandmother's Irish
Yeah.
and my dad's a nigga, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you're Irish and black.
Yeah.
Both
And
mixed.
Chinese.
And
Indian?
Indian.
You know what?
Blackfoot Indian.
Nice. Do you know oh wait, Indian is in
Like Native
Native
Indian?
American.
Native American.
Gotcha. I was thinking the other one.
Oh, no. If I had the accent, I could pass for Puerto Rican.
Probably,
You know,
yeah.
I could see
I've
it.
seen a lot of Puerto Ricans that, like it's like sometimes you're like, man, is he black or is he like South American?
Wait a minute. One Halloween, I went to the Down Under with a blackface.
How did you get much darker?
Man, I got a picture. Anyway, Mom said, don't you come to my house looking like that. My mom wouldn't accept me over there, but I went to the club. Dennis Crib, he's at the bar now. He's the guy with the white beard that always comes and talks to me.
Yeah.
He would be the only one at the 906 waiting, watching me till I end. 5 in the morning when we leave. But anyway, he's the only one that knew me when I walked in there. He laughed. He said, Randall. He didn't call me Randall. He just laughed. This woman came in, and she held my hand. She said, well, you are black. I said, yeah. That's why I wear a blackface every day, so it doesn't mean nothing to me. But I like to make people look at me. I ain't the hottest thing to look at, but I like to make them.
That's
I like-
peacocking, yeah.
Yeah, I want them, when they hear me play the sax, it's totally different. And I want them to look at me and say, damn, look at this. And then once they hear me play, I get respect a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, it's like the bait, and then like you playing as you reeling.
Yeah,
in,
but you
know?
can't be too feminine and all that. Gangster.
Sure you
can't
can,
be
dude.
too slick.
Sure you can. And today, like now, sure you can, dude. I mean, man, I have worn some feminine stuff in my day. And I'll tell you, the dudes, they'll say something, but the ladies,
They like that.
they like it.
I had a dude
Like-
chase me around for earrings I was wearing. I had a bridal gown on. I got a few gowns,
Yeah.
you know. And it's nothing I practice every day, but I collect that kind of stuff by the material. So I want to make a pair of men's bell bottoms. I want to make a pair of bell bottoms out of men's ties.
Oh,
And
that'd
I
be
have
cool.
about 500 ties. So it's just taking them apart, ironing them down, and then, you know, doing your pattern. I'm going to make something.
Dude, that's awesome. I would buy a pair of those pants. That's sick.
I made these pants.
Yeah, I was actually checking these out earlier.
Yeah, when you got in the car, I was like, ooh, I wonder if those are custom. That's sick,
Yeah.
dude.
Y'all want to see?
Yeah, actually stand up.
Yeah, stand up. Show the people those pants.
These are my pants.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, you've worn these to a couple quick draws. And
Yeah.
I always think, man, there's some stuff you wore. You wore like a fur coat with those the other day, and I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah. Every time you walk in,
Styling.
you're looking fresh. Every time.
Well, see, I want people to look at me like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to bring that.
Well, you smell good,
And
man. Like
professional.
you bring like that Outkast song, "Ain't Nobody Dope as Me." I'm just so fresh and clean, so fresh and so clean.
Well, the difference that they make.
Yeah.
No.
My dad told me I was going through puberty, and I started, like having body odor and stuff. And I never owned deodorant at that point or whatever, because
I understand.
I'm like 14. And he told me, he's like, there is, when you're meeting somebody for the first time, somebody will look at you for a couple seconds, maybe, but they'll get anxious, because they don't know you, they don't want to make eye contact and stuff. They'll look away, but if you're in their presence, they're gonna smell you, and if the way you smell will stick with somebody, And he told me, and he almost like scared me, He's like, if you smell bad once, people are gonna think you smell bad. You're just a kind of guy that smells bad. And like if you smell good, you're gonna be the kind of guy, like you meet somebody for the first time smelling great, you're a clean, great smelling kind of guy. And like probably nobody will say that to you, but like that's always the thought. Like, damn, that dude smelled great. You like looking clean, looking fresh, like. And it's like, man, I never even cut my hair, Like, I never have a fresh cut, but it's like, if you're smelling good, it's almost like you do have a fresh cut,
I don't know what to say. Some people like just normal body smell,
No, especially
musk.
the ladies, man. Like, if somebody's in love, like, if y'all are in love, it's like, yeah, you start to really like your
Now,
partner's
when I was
natural
married,
smell.
I'd rather have my wife have a cocktail. She liked gin, and smoke a cigarette and kiss me. I don't know what, just it had me going.
Yeah.
I met her when I was 8 years old, so
You got married when y'all were 10, or?
well, we did play. I gave her a little ring out of the bubble gum machine.
It was meant to be, dude. That was meant to be.
Yeah.
That's some gay shit,
I had
dude.
my first son when I was 27. Well, my only kid I know.
You only got the one son, right?
Mhm.
And he doesn't live in Omaha, right?
He's in Hollywood, well, Sherman Oaks, California,
Yeah, okay.
and he's a producer of music videos for upcoming rappers,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that.
Wow.
He's on Instagram as Marcus Turner or Marcus Shot This Tube,
Shout out Marcus.
Denmark,
Yeah.
Vision Bank. That's my son.
Yeah. Dude, that's pretty awesome, dude.
And I,
It's a
until
good
I
gig.
get, until I can stand up on my own, I'm not going to say, "Man, will you help me?"
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to decorate his place, though. I would like to put some art there.
Yeah. Oh, you should, man.
Well, he has three. My brother took 3 pieces back, 4 things back. So maybe he'll get them in there. I'm going next month, I think, for a weekend.
Mm.
You flying?
Yeah.
Nice.
You already got the ticket bought?
No. My
Oh,
sister's on it. She
Oh,
called me the
okay.
other day. We're
Nice.
just gonna fly for the weekend. I said okay.
Yeah.
They'll buy it for me.
Man, it's
I'll
like
pay 'em back.
the earliest you could buy it, man. I remember I moved to Hawaii. We bought the tickets a year and a half in advance. It was $140 plane ticket. If we would have bought it like the day before, it would have been like $1,200, you know? Oh yeah, dude. I had to get out of, oh man, where was I? It was one of the times I missed a flight once in my life, and it was coming back for Christmas or something from Oregon, and I missed the flight by like, I mean, they were boarding when I was going through TSA, and when I went through, they're like, the gates just closed, like maybe 30 seconds to a minute ago. I talked to the girl anyway. They're like, no, everybody sat. They're already doing announcements. They're about to pull out. And so I had to buy a new ticket. The first ticket was $300. The second ticket was $1,500. And I call my mom, and I go, hey, Mom, I'm not making it home for Christmas this year. Like, I'm so sorry. I feel so stupid. She bought that ticket. She was like, fuck no. You're not missing Christmas.
Yeah,
And it was the same Christmas. I came back, and I spent the whole Christmas here in this apartment with Zach because my parents had COVID. They were like, never mind, don't, you know, we were feeling shitty the day before, but we took a test today. We both got, the whole house has COVID.
Yeah, that part was unfortunate, but us being able to hang the whole time was like the best thing that could have possibly happened.
That's
Like,
wonderful.
that was exactly what I was hoping for, because I know your family, having the family principles and spending time with family around important holidays and stuff, always important, but sometimes they suck Reese out of all of his time that he could have spent with friends.
I mean,
that's not a bad thing.
We're
but
talking
like
Thanksgiving. I show up at like 11 in the morning. I won't leave until like 8 p.m. You know, and it's like, man, I would really like to be with some of my other family that's not blood related. You know, like my family. You know, the people and like same with Christmas, man. We'll be there at 10 in the morning, opening presents stuff, and I love it. It's a blessing. It really is. You know, but God, it's like I got presents for this person. I got friends, but it's like everybody that's got like a relationship.
I'd like to be able to give to people like that.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, and I don't. You know, like usually I get like a present for Zach, and I get a present for like my brother, maybe. You know, even my roommate. Like, we know what it is. We just don't buy. We don't buy.
I
gifts
didn't
for
even
each other.
bring the Mardi Gras piece of art because now I am implementing more jewelry on them. You know. And that's the only thing standing out with my art downtown is, you know, they have brass or something on there. So if I just, you can't just throw a fucking chain on there or something.
That's true.
You got to have it put in the right place and accentuate the piece.
Oh man, and art's always evolving, man. It gets more and more technical.
So
every
I
year.
mean, I have suitcases of jewelry that I've been taking apart. I made the border wall with the viruses, and that's all going to be rubies, onyx, and pearls and ivory to represent the people, the color of the people.
Yeah.
Nice.
In the middle, and it's got a big long jade thing first. And
That's cool. Our border?
no, it's on a mirror, but it's
but like, is it representing our border? Like our border wall?
yeah, the world.
Gotcha.
You know,
Okay, I like that. I like that a
first
lot.
was going to call it Trump's border wall, but I said no. But it's a border wall, and the viruses floated all through everything. So
I like that a lot. That's
it's
a cool
It's
concept.
going to be sharp too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Do you have a YouTube page or anything?
No, I need to do that.
Dude, you should.
Do you have any recorded music that we could
Yeah, I
plug
do.
and like can people?
Oh,
Find
nothing
somewhere.
live.
We gotta help you.
We can set up a YouTube for you. We can get some recordings down.
'Cause,
Like,
man,
you deserve
like,
it, man.
It'd be great if people could hear you play without having to.
I got some of my
catch you
original
at the
music
right
on
time.
here. This is called New Level.
New lever.
And I can't play the I can't do both hands. So I just put this down. So it's good.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, we should get this uploaded somewhere, dude. We should upload it to like SoundCloud or something. We can help make you a page sometime.
Man, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
man.
dude,
I need
you
help
gotta-
because I don't know how to do it.
That's
Oh,
okay,
man,
dude.
It's a process for me too, man. Like, my dad gets on me because he's like, dude, how do you not know how to, how do you not know how to? I need your help with my computer. I'm like, you're asking the wrong son.
This is called Praise the Lord.
Oh yeah, we played to this one the other day.
Mm-hmm. was crazy. I bought the piano, and the sounds that came up, like that drum beat, this is what I created by hearing the beat.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll help you out. Shout out Randal Turner.
Thank you guys, man.
Shout out to you, dude. This is so sick. This I keep wanting. Oh yeah, that's a good texture. It feels like it looks kind of like mango slices, in a cool way. Like this is very very satisfying color.
Almost like a nice freeze-dried mango.
Yeah, freeze dried mango, a little avocado. This looks. Oh, this lizard.
You know, I got some sea glass that I got just in a box at my house. You know, and I just gathered off the beach. I should give that to you.
I'll make you a necklace piece, dude.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it's sitting in a box at my home, and I just think it's kind of cool to look at every once in a while, but it's not out anywhere. You know.
I'm glad
It'd
it's
be better
sea
in your
glass.
hand.
Like,
Yeah.
what if it was the opposite, dude? You'd
Yeah,
never be able to
unseen,
find it.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'd never find it
invisible
again.
glass. Yeah.
No, it's kind of cool, man. Like what happens is people break bottles and shit in the ocean, and it's so smooth from the current, like rubbing against the sand. You can't
yeah.
cut yourself with sea glass if you
Right.
tried. You know, like
Thank
nice
God.
and smooth around each. It looks like sandblasted. You know,
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like foggy. You know?
Ooh.
Yeah, I got like green pieces. I got one from a Mountain Dew bottle. I got one from a Coors Light. Like all sorts of just random bottles that like. Well, I don't know if it's actually like a Mountain Dew, but I got a green one that I'm like, that's either got to be Rolling Rock, Mountain Dew, or, you know. I guess no, it doesn't, because there's a lot of bottles worldwide, and who the fuck knows where those pieces of glass came from
Yeah,
before
you
they
know.
wash up on shore.
Used to see, I have a piece that's angelfish,
Oh, okay.
and the fins are the wires out of the piano.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So even the sand that looked like sand, it was all the stuff I swept up from the breaking the glasses. I would just break it. So I'm gonna have to paint that to make it look brown again, or leave it like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
Well, it's already rough, so yeah, I mean, paint would adhere to it pretty easy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just
it's the
down on
smooth
the
stuff that's
bottom, like
hard.
they're on the bottom of the lake. I got 2 fish on there, and I seen it at the 906. Christine walked up and said, "That's one of your pieces, Randall." I never seen it on the floor, you know, like that. I'm sitting there looking. That's really good, and it was mine. That's crazy.
Oh, that's cool, dude. Dude, we went to the 906 together once, and it was
yeah.
when Mark Hiori had a live show, and he was playing guitar, and then we walked from there to Supermercado, and then I think over to the
No.
906. Right? Wasn't that night?
No, you're talking. He played that show in Southo.
Yeah, isn't?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that
I guess
was
that's
the
not the
906.
906.
You and I went with Carolyn one night. I thought
We did, and I remember the place being really cool, and yeah, all the people were a bit older.
I invited Wynton Marsalis, and his orchestra came to town, and I invited them to one of our parties.
Mm-hmm.
I was moping around. They didn't get there. They had a show, so they came.
Yeah.
The drummer and another guy came. It was probably 4 in the morning. And somebody came, Dulce, you know her? She's a belly dancer.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, she came, there's somebody wants to meet you, Randall. I turned around, she took me over there, and it was him. I said, I'm so thankful you guys showed up, man.
Yeah.
I said, you're in time for my set. I got up there. He told me, keep doing your thing, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, could he play? So I got pictures of us on the stage, and he's beating the drums.
Nice.
Man, Ollie Jackson is the drummer for Wynton Marsalis Orchestra from New York.
Wynton Marsalis?
Yeah,
Okay. And is that a jazz group?
yeah, from the, what's the big place in New York? Lincoln Center, their orchestra.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They said Randall knows all the right people.
Yeah.
They were all happy after they showed up and seen them, you know. I did invite them too, and they showed.
That's awesome, dude. That's such a cool
That's my
feeling.
first time ever meeting them in person.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, when you said the big place in New York, I was like,
The Lincoln Center.
yeah, I didn't know that was a place in New York. That's cool. I know the only big thing I know in New York is just like Broadway theaters and like Times Square.
I went there. I lived in St. Louis out of high school. This was in like 78, 77. And I went to a play. I met the opera singers. Well, there was a neighborhood where all the hottest bars were, and I'd go down there and I met, I forget his name now. I want to call him. His name was Oscar something.
Shout out Oscar.
Oscar White, the White, somebody.
Oscar the White.
Anyway, he was an opera singer. They invited me to Kansas City to see Porgy and the Best.
Yeah.
So I went and I sat in the orchestra pit. I couldn't tell him I played saxophone because I didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
But I did that. And he invited me to New York. I was 21, dude. There were so many people. I just wanted to sit in the window and look out there. And he said, "You can go to the store right there." I said, "I'm not going nowhere without you guys, man." I mean, it was fast.
Yeah.
Everybody's like that.
Yeah, New York.
They had full-length mink coats on, and we walked arm in arm.
Nice.
It was crazy, man. They took me to a bar, a club. It had 5 floors. One of the guys with us wandered. He came back next and said he got robbed. I said, "You are kidding." But the music was off the chain.
You said he came back naked?
This dude came back without his clothes and everything. They got him.
Oh my
Wherever he
God.
went. But that's the year that movie, The Cruising came out to show me too, to see that kind of stuff. I was there, dude.
Yeah,
And I came from, like the Quad Cities is where I came from. I'm in Manhattan. I called my parents, collect. Said, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm in New York. You'll see when you see this phone bill."
Yeah. Yeah, call and collect's not even really a thing anymore, man.
No, it isn't.
Unless it's like international, some things are like
Yeah.
they can cost, but
Yeah,
otherwise
somebody called you from like China or something.
like data, the texting and calling, it's like not even a thought anymore. It's like unlimited everything, and like it better be fast, otherwise we're complaining.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, I mean,
I didn't have service in the office today while I was taking a shit, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, but it's like that would make total sense because I'm in a giant building with like a bunch of layers. But it's wild. Like 10 years ago, if a YouTube video loaded successfully in high quality on our phone when we were like going to school, that was like, oh yeah, like that's next level. It
And
takes
see,
like
the
so
thing about
long.
you guys too, when you guys invited me to the Bourbon Theater with you guys, and to see y'all do that with all the lights and sound, that's my dream. To be able to put on production like that and hear my music like that.
yeah.
Man, and you guys do it. And
Well, and it's definitely not all us, man. Like the headliner that night, Taboo. I mean, he'd saw Zach and I do a show at the Waiting Room once, and he loved this song that Zach does.
the one.
Yeah. The one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he
I love
asked
it
for us
too.
specifically, man. And so that was like his production that we got to go on for. I mean, man, I remember Zach and I were both saying the same thing. There's nowhere to put our drink because if you did, the sound, the bass everything was shaking so much that
I was
no matter
vibrating
where
the
you
whole
put
time.
your drink, it's
Man,
gonna fall
that
over.
was off
you
the
know?
chain. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Like we had the pleasure of we were the last people to ever play at the Warehouse. You remember the Warehouse? Oh,
It was the old school underground warehouse. They had like a skate ramp in there. It's kind of underground.
Oh man,
But 2019 was the last year, and we
I
played.
made a skateboard. One of my friends skateboard, Paul Malosky, whatever his name is.
Well,
And
you
he's
know
an older
Conan.
guy. Yeah, Conan.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I made a skateboard for him, a piece of art.
Nice.
And the dude's tuning a guitar. I called it the multitasker because he was always doing stuff at the 906.
Yeah.
The dude's tuning the guitar on a skateboard. And he still has it. I seen it on the wall.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
He showed one of his pictures. I was proud of that.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen Conan in a while. He was always coming around with the high bike.
Yeah, last
Yeah,
time I
the
saw him
bike.
was Hullabaloo, I think 2015 or 16. It was like one of those.
He was just on Facebook. He was with some youngsters somewhere. They were doing some skating,
Yeah.
skateboarding.
That's cool.
Man, he's got to be.
I know. And he still got all his bones intact.
Well, he's got to be 60, 70 now, right?
He looks 60 or late 50s.
He's probably late 50s or 60s somewhere. in
He
there.
taught my buddy, our buddy Reed, how to skateboard.
Really?
Yeah, that was a connection we made at the South House. We were talking about the festival and the high bike and stuff, and we were talking about Conan. And he was like, "That was my first like skate instructor. I met him at Robert's skate park."
Man, I bought
Reed and him like knew each other pretty well.
Wild.
I bought a hoverboard. Hoverboard.
Yeah.
The other day. I gotta get the cord for it to charge it, but I'll be done broke a hip trying to do that.
Yeah, you better be careful on
Dude,
that.
I would break myself trying to do that.
Dude, I got an electric longboard, you know, and it's got brakes and it's all electric. And man, I broke my wrist 2 summers ago on that.
My just broke too now. Still,
Yeah.
it's healed. Last March I fell and pulled my rotator cuff was messed up, and they wouldn't even do surgery.
Wow.
They waited a month to do the MRI. I said, "You motherfuckers! If I'd have went to my doctor, I would have been treated."
Yeah.
Yeah, and also in a month, like it's gonna look way different. It's like
it's not even worth doing it.
no, that's ridiculous, dude.
So that's malpractice.
That is malpractice.
Wow.
Shout out to malpractice.
Yeah.
Shout out to malpractice.
Pay
Always
me.
coming in clutch.
Amen, dude. Amen.
I'm not trying to go after them, no.
No, I mean, well, so sometimes it's worth it. My mom, she had this snack that she got from Costco, and it was like a nut, like mix or something, and she just eat it at work. It's mostly granola, and one day she was eating the pistachio blend, and it had a pistachio seed in the middle of the granola. She's chomping it, and it split her molar in half. And she said it was super painful. She opened up a lawsuit. Nothing, like, she wasn't like angry. She just wanted her medical paid. She's like, I shouldn't have to pay $10,000. They had to put a cadaver tooth in her, you know, like a dead guy's tooth. And she's a vegan. She did not like the thought of that at all. You know, she was real disgusted and shit, but she couldn't have her middle molar gone because that's like, you know. And they paid her out like 12 G's or something like that because that's how much, it was like 8 G's. And so on top of that was for pain and stuff.
Well, I did have an attorney, right? And at some point, they told me to send them all the information. I did. And then their site was closed. You couldn't even contact them anymore. I said, that's a scam. Them people scammed me.
Did you paid them too?
I didn't have to pay them.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
But they might have got paid. Because I called them later when I got through and told them my name. Oh, it's going to come in December. Then they put me on hold and came back and told me I had to call somebody else. So I think they scammed the people and got paid whatever it was. And see, my cousin's an attorney. She was looking into it, but they wouldn't answer the phone when she was checking.
Yeah, okay.
No, but I got through one day. I still got their number on my phone with the messages from them.
Shout out malpractice legally now.
You know, you get tired of people trying to fuck over people. You know, if you don't know, you just don't know. But
yeah. I mean, there's a lot less feeling of community, you know? And that's why, I don't know, you kind of got to stick with your people and stick with your guns, you know? It's like, do what you're doing, stay in your lane. You know,
right.
It's hard to, like, you never want to, like, rely on.
No, the thing is, I played through the pain. I didn't want to be, I couldn't play my piano. Man, I made myself play it. You know, to hold the horn, because this hand would be weird.
Yeah.
Because it split right here. And I was chasing my dog so a big dog wouldn't get him.
Yeah.
And I tripped over this brick, man, and I laid out there hollering. And the lady that seen me sent her grandson to see if I was all right. I said, yeah, I'm okay. But I yelled for a minute, man.
Yeah.
Last March. And I was supposed to be at the Governor. I got dressed, I was ready to go. I just took the dog out for the walk so I could go, and I fell over that thing.
Yeah. Man, I mean, when I crashed on my longboard, I was coming down my parents' street. I just hit this big piece of plastic, and I slid, you know, and it, like, my whole side of my arm and side, like, I was bleeding. My hand was bleeding real bad from, like, here to down here.
Yeah, you look fucked up.
I just scraped, and I got up, and I was like, shit. And I, like, look at my hand, make sure my board's okay, because my remote, you know, you have to have, like, your go and stop in your hand. And I fell, and I scraped the whole top of the remote, too, and I was making sure it was good. I could see the display still, and I was like, awesome. So I switched hands. I got up on my board and then just shot, like, pain just shot to my wrist. And I looked around for a second, and no one was outside, and I just, like, I hollered at the top of my lungs. I mean, I'd never had pain like that. And it like the adrenaline was so strong that when I first got up and saw the blood, I was like, all right, we're good. It's just a little bit of blood. None of my fingers or hands or nothing are out of place. But my hand was kind of like sitting like this.
That's
And I
how
straightened
mine
it back
was.
out.
That's
I
how
was
mine
like,
was when I broke my wrist too.
yeah. Oh, it was awful. Like, I mean, and I go up to my dad. It's like limp wristed. I was like, "Hey, man," and he was like, "What the hell?" You know,
I
what
was
the
5
hell?
years old, and my uncle snatched me and pulled my arm out of the socket and said, "You better not cry." So I walked around the whole day playing with everybody like that until my mom came home from work and seen me.
Wow.
I ended up having to get a cast.
Yeah.
But he didn't mean to do it. I was bad, though.
Mm.
I ran over my brother. I didn't run around him.
We're in the back. My
My baby
dad,
brother.
he's got a classic car. He's got a Barracuda, like old muscle car. And we had my cousin in the back one day. We're going to a car show. He wanted his, because my dad's brother, my uncle, he also has a classic car, but it's an old, like, 34 Chevy. So nothing
Right.
fast or nothing. So the cousin wanted to drive in the fast car with us. Well, my older cousin's in the front. Me and the younger cousin are in the back. And I'm on the right of him, and my hand's like this. And my cousin, like, leans up to, like, tell my dad something about the radio, wanted to change songs. And my dad, the light turns green, and he wanted to turn some rubber, you know, so he gunned it. And my cousin just sat all the way down on my finger that was, like, sitting like this, you know.
Wow.
And, I mean, immediately I start crying. My dad's telling me, you're fine, you're fine. And now I can do this with my finger, you know. I can't do that with any
the
other
classic,
finger.
yeah.
Yeah, I can bend just the front of it because I got some, like, weird, I can kind of do it with that one.
You see my
But I mean,
thumbs?
that one, dude.
Look at my thumbs.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh.
My sister said, "You got to get that checked. It's from holding a horn, man."
Oh yeah, you got one like beefy thumb.
Well, that, you know, you get older and, like, arthritis sets in anywhere
I
where
got
you...
arthritis too,
Oh, yeah.
but my thumbs are like that.
I mean,
That's
anything...
retarded,
You,
ain't it?
Hey, dude. No, that's life.
Yeah,
that's life.
That's what it takes to be the sax symbol.
That's what all the people say.
you gotta hold it.
Yeah,
You
man.
gotta
I mean,
hold it.
You gotta
Yeah.
have a grip.
That finger, that finger's all sorts of weird. I know it'll get weirder and weirder, but you know, it's funny when you get hurt and it's like, yeah. My dad was even like, "You're fine, you're fine." I get home, my mom, you know, I was like crying in bed. She comes to tuck me. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "My finger just hurts really bad." She takes a look at it. She's like, "What the hell happened?" You know, she was pissed at my dad. And she's like, "What the fuck?" You know. Like, yeah, and we never went to the doctor. I told her, I was like, "Oh, it's fine," you know, but for weeks it hurt. I mean, maybe even months, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
I really
bad.
think I broke it, and I just kind of
probably did.
let it do its thing. Because I mean, you know, like it's never sat straight like that. I got this finger's fine, you know, but this one's just all. I don't know. It's my fun finger, you know. That's the one I use.
Yeah,
happy
but
for
cousin
you.
who
Who do we
has a
have?
bunch of
Where-
antique cars too.
Okay.
In
Ooh.
Kewanee, Illinois, he has a warehouse.
Yeah.
With
Did you ever see my classic car?
I seen the black one that day.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
kept
that's right.
noticing that out front, and I didn't know it was yours until you guys were getting in there.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, no, it only comes out in the summer, man. Once all the salt is off the streets, I mean, I've never worked on any one thing for that long. You know, I got 1,000 hours on that thing, at least. I mean, he's lived with me on and off for the last 10 years,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of Saturdays. He's like, "Hey, we should go do this." I'm like, "I can't. I gotta go work
Yeah,
on the
Saturday
car
and
this
Sunday. It's like,
Saturday."
oh, my dad's putting in a new metal piece in
Yeah.
my engine block or
Yeah,
something.
we gotta sand down the gas tank and repaint it.
Yeah, we
Or
gotta curl down the struts and
Yeah.
spangle the sides.
Yeah, I got to stop over there and paint the drum brakes, or I got to stop over there and, you know,
That's good,
redo
though.
some of this wiring, or, you know, whatever. And it sucked because all my weekends and stuff. But then you go to a car show and you pull up, and like my car, a lot of people have like Fox body Mustangs or old Corvettes or Bel Airs, Chevelles, you know.
I used to have a
And-
Bel Air. We drove that. Mom
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah, the Bel Airs are nice, man. But, you know, no one, like when I go to these shows, everyone asks me, "What is it?" You know? I'm like, "Oh, it's a 67 Chrysler Newport." They're like, "Newport? Never heard of it." You know, it's like, it's one of those cars, for whatever reason, nobody has, you know? And so it's a real cool feeling to be kind of, to have something unique, you know? Because
He
you'll be
told
like,
me, I
"Oh."
told him I want to be in the parade, the Hog Festival in Kewanee, Illinois. They have it near September sometime, September 1st. I told him I want to be in the parade on one of the cars, but I want a purple one. He said, "You buy the paint, I got the car."
Nice.
So whatever, you know, his youngest son just passed away couple weeks ago, a month ago. So
Yeah. Oh, so you might inherit a car, is what you're saying?
I'm not going to say I'm going to inherit one, but it would be nice to buy one of his old cars like that.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I mean, my car, it's probably worth 30 to 40 grand
I'd
at
say
this
so
point.
at minimum.
And he's got
And,
several of them. A
man,
Roadrunner.
I bought it for
all kinds of-
$1,200. You know, bought it for 12. It was green. Didn't start. We had to tow it
Yeah.
home. But man, if you really put some work on stuff, man, like those old cars are what really survive. I mean, they're actual metal. You know, there's a lot of and the big thing about it is rust. It's always rust, man.
I had a 68 Cutlass. Old
Ooh.
Cutlass. It had power windows and all that.
Yeah.
Tinted windows.
The Cutlasses were nice. There were a few years with
I
it.
only paid $150 for that car.
Wow.
They asked me for a while in California. I had it.
Yeah.
I had a Chevrolet Impala 74. All the cars these niggas are driving around in nowadays,
Yeah.
thinking they're hot. I didn't have them all. And
Yeah.
I paid cash for them, for everything. I never had credit. Never
Still
did.
don't have credit.
No.
Yeah. See me
I
either.
had a student loan that they cleared last year,
Okay.
so I'll probably get something.
Yeah.
But I ain't got a job to get nothing.
I've never had credit either. I mean, granted, I'm only 28, but you know, it's like I'm trying to buy a house this next year, and you know, the bank's like, "Well, you don't make any money. You know, you don't have any credit. You don't have, you know." It's like, well, yeah, you're right. Some things it's nice, some things it's not. Because I don't like borrowing, you know, and that's my biggest thing for credit is I know that if I had a credit card, I mean, I'd be in debt. I'd have $25,000 in cash that I'd have to pay on my card because if I can afford something, then I mean I'll buy it. You know, if I got an itch to buy a motorcycle tomorrow, I guarantee by the end of the day tomorrow I will have a motorcycle if I want it enough. You know, and so that's why I don't want a credit card because I'm immature in that way. If there's something a little toy that I find that I'm like I can't really afford it, but I can. You know, it's like
That's like the recording equipment that I got, that looper, and them are toys that I never had before. You know.
Well,
And I'm learning how to use it. So
I think if you want to know how Randall has learned how to use his new toys, you should check it out on the Patreon. I think it's about that time, gents.
I think it is.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Shout out to THC Dispensary. Shout out to Quick Draw Comedy. Shout out to Randall's art. Shout out to Randall being the sax symbol himself. Catch him at Sundays and Tuesdays at minimum at Quick Draw Comedy at Emmett's Tavern. Thank you guys so much. Is there anything you want to shout out, Randall, before we go to the Patreon?
just come and join us and have some fun.
That's the move.
That's the perfect
That's
shout.
exactly it.
And
Heck yeah.
I appreciate you guys too.
We appreciate
we
you so much,
appreciate you,
man. We're
man.
so happy that you're here.
We'll see you guys
We will
on
see
the
you-
Patreon.
In the page.
So the Patreon, we're gonna do like another.